everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I've been married to a covert narcissist for almost 20 years. I'm separated from him now, and what I do with this channel is I use my real life experiences to get information out there to people about what narcissism really is, what it looks like, what it does to you, and what it does to your family. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about love, what it means when a narcissist tells you that they love you versus what it means when somebody really loves you. A narcissist is incapable of love. So if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you're going to be starved of affection, starved of love. You're going to feel it missing. Now, you might not be aware that this is exactly what's going on, but you do feel it. There's something missing in your life, and what it is love. A narcissist is immune to love. It's not something that they're able to feel, give, or receive. They can take things from you. They like taking things from you, but they're not able to take love. It doesn't mean anything to a narcissist. For a narcissist, they are truly emotionally stunted. They are mentally ill. They are completely lacking in empathy. All things related to love don't exist for a narcissist. So for a narcissist, it really would be like if you were trying to understand sight, but you were blind. If you didn't have any ability to see, so you were blind from birth, and somebody's trying to get you to understand sight, it wouldn't matter how good they are at describing a sight, how good they are at trying to put these visuals in your head. You would never be able to understand it. It would be incomprehensible to you. If you've never seen sight, you've never had any glimpse of anything out of your eyes, it doesn't matter how desperate somebody is to make you see, to have you understand it. You cannot. It would never happen for you. They could be fantastically descriptive. They could pray for you, lay hands on you. It doesn't matter. It would never happen for you. That is exactly what's going on with the narcissist. It doesn't matter how desperate you are to have them understand love, how much you love them, how much you're willing to give and sacrifice. Never. They cannot understand it. They truly are immune to love. It doesn't exist for a narcissist, but they have learned that love is important to other people. So it's almost like if you say for some reason you did not understand hunger, you never felt hungry, you didn't feel a need to eat, but you understood that other people did, and that if other people are hungry, they're going to have a different reaction to you than if they're not hungry. So say you had a bunch of kids around you and they were really hungry. They're going to be fighting, they're going to be cranky, they're going to be very annoying and difficult to be around. But you learn, well, geez, if I feed them, they completely change. Now they're playing nicely with each other. They're okay to be around. They're not bothering me. So that is how a narcissist looks at love. They use it just like you would give a sandwich to a little kid. They use love to get things from you because they want you to give them love. Because even though love is a meaningless word to a narcissist, they like how you make them feel. So when a narcissist tells you they love you, what they're doing is they're telling you essentially, I like how you make me feel when you think I love you. A narcissist needs narcissistic supply. They need people to take care of them. They feel entitled to it. They're your better. They look at themselves that way. They're better than everybody else. They are put in the world for other people to take care of them. That's your job. It's their right to be taken care of. They like other people doing things for them. This is why they'll love bomb you. They need you to love them. So a narcissist, especially at the beginning of the relationship and intermittently throughout the relationship, if they feel like you are, fading away a little bit, like maybe you're thinking about leaving them, or maybe you're not giving them quite everything that they want and they don't have another source of supply, they'll love bomb you. And they've learned that they could just tell you they love you. They could buy you some flowers, buy you a plant or whatever, and that's all that you need. And they love that. They love that that is all they have to do, and you are right back where they want you. They have goals for you. They have plans for you, and they are 100% wrapped around themselves. They don't give any thought to you other than what they need to do to manipulate you. A narcissist loves controlling you. They love that your life is all about them, how you will ignore your wants and needs to focus 100% on them. As the relationship progresses, you matter less and less until the relationship is completely about them. They will do, everything is about them. They will do anything to make you feel that they love you so that you will continue to do things for them. But ultimately, they really only care about themselves. And you'll see it sometimes when the mask falls off. A narcissist is an actor, and they're always wearing a mask. And every so often in the relationship, especially in the early days, towards the end, in some cases, the mask completely falls off. That happened to me towards the end of my relationship, and I know that's happened to a lot of people. But if you think back, and a lot of what you do in a narcissistic relationship, once you know that they're a narcissist, is you just really reflect on the past. You go over and over things that you missed, things that now make sense to you. That's part of narcissistic abuse. That is part of your recovery. And this is what I do with this channel, and this is what I know a lot of other people do when they have channels on narcissism. Try to save people from in retrospect. Keep that as limited as possible, because in some cases you can think in retrospect, like in my case, 20 years, 30 years, it can really go on because you're blind to it, especially people, and so many people in these relationships are codependent or empaths. You give everything despite what the person does to you. Now, one of the things in retrospect that I've thought back to years ago when my children were really small, my daughter was a toddler and my son was an infant. My husband had surgery. He had varicose veins. He had them removed. Now, this was a huge traumatic day for me. He never, even to this day, he is annoyed with what happened. So I had a babysitter for my daughter. She was 2, or I guess she was 3. My son was an infant. I kept him with me. I couldn't get a babysitter for him. He was one of those kids that was so attached to me. So I knew I couldn't leave him. He'd be crying all day. So I just decided to keep him with me. So he was at the hospital with me throughout the day. Everything was going along fine. And then I got a call from the babysitter that my daughter would not go to the bathroom. She would not urinate. She wouldn't go pee. She had a bladder infection. And she was crying. She was really upset. So the babysitter's like, I can't watch her. She's really, really upset and crying. So I was like, all right, bring her to the hospital. So, I'm sitting at the hospital. I was by myself with my infant. My daughter comes to the hospital. So I have my 2 kids with me. My husband's in surgery. I'm calling the doctor. Now, the surgery was in Boston. We lived an hour away. So my pediatrician was an hour away. It was closer to our house. So I called the doctor. I could get her in later in the afternoon that day. So I had to bring her to the doctor. She had to go. She was in pain. I didn't have a choice. So I was hoping that in the meantime, my husband would be out of the surgery and awake from the anesthesia so that I could speak to him. I'd called my mother-in-law, explain the situation. I was like, can you please get your son and bring him home? I need to bring our daughter to the doctor. Please just bring him home. I will be home as soon as I can. So I had made arrangements. He's a father. This was his daughter. I'm his wife. These things were happening. I was doing the best that I could. So I was lucky enough where he did wake up and I was able to see him briefly before I went to the doctor. But I wasn't sure if that was even the case, if I was going to. So I had written this whole long note to him, and it was the type of note where it was like, I'm so sorry, I'm having this terrible problem. Our daughter has a bladder infection. I have to take her to the doctor. Your mom's going to bring you home. I'm going to be home as soon as I can. I love you so much. I'm so sorry I have to leave. It was like that type of note. So I was able to go in and see him, but I couldn't bring my kids in to see him in the recovery. So I literally left my kids with a stranger. Now, granted, it was a nurse, but still, I left my kids and I went in to talk to him, trying to comfort him, babying him, giving him this note, trying to explain to him. He was angry. He was mad that I had to leave. How could this happen? Why can't you get someone else to deal with it? Who else is going to deal with it? It's my daughter. Who else is going to take her to the doctor? He was so angry. So eventually I had to leave. I had to go to the doctor. So I left my husband with his mother. So he had his mother there. It's not like he was, I put him in a cab or something. He had a ride home. His mother came and got him. I went to the doctor. And so I went to the doctor. I got my daughter figured out. She'd give me medicine. We talked about what she was going to do. The doctor said she's going to go pee. She is going to go pee. So she had medicine for the infection part, and she was going to go pee. So I left the doctor, and I didn't go home. I went straight to CVS to get my husband's pain medication, and he starts calling me on the phone. Where's the pain medication? Why is it taking so long? Now, I don't know. I don't work at CVS. That I'm waiting for the pharmacist. So I literally have my son, my infant, in one of those baby carriers in the cart. My daughter was sitting in the stroller. I mean, not the stroller, the cart. And I'm aimlessly walking around CVS waiting for my name to be called for the prescription. So then my daughter suddenly says to me, I have to go pee. Now, there's no bathroom at CVS. I couldn't leave because my husband, literally every 2 minutes, he was calling me. Where's that pain medication? Why is it taking so long? Why are you doing this to me? Really, he was horrible to me. I had been through so much that day trying to make everybody happy, and he could not understand this. He was livid. So I felt like I was afraid. I felt like I couldn't leave CVS. My daughter went pee in the cart, and of course it's leaking onto the floor. So there was this puddle of pee in the middle of CVS. I didn't even tell anybody because right after she went pee, they called over, the intercom that my prescription was ready. So I just left. I mean, this is what narcissism will do to you. I just left it there, wheeled my wet daughter and my infant over to the pharmacy, got the pain medication, got in the car, got home. And, I called my husband, like, I have the medication. I'm on my way home. Oh, finally, it's about time. Whatever. He was so mad. I get home. He never even asked about the kids. He was so annoyed with my daughter because she dared to get a bladder infection, as if she did this intentionally. He never asked about it. He just wanted his pain medication. Turns out, though, I walk in the door. So the way our house was at the time, we don't live there anymore. You'd go into the garage and go into the basement and walk upstairs, to the first floor. So my husband smoked cigarettes. He used to smoke cigarettes. He used to smoke in the basement. So I come in the garage, it reeks of cigarettes. While I was out, while he was dying of pain, couldn't move, because he had varicose vein surgery. He was stuck. He had gotten himself all the way down into the basement, smoked some cigarettes, and went back upstairs and was waiting for his pain medication. That is narcissism. Now, I'm not trying to say that I don't feel bad for somebody that had a surgery. I do, and I understand that. But the reality is, he had a family. He had a wife who was going crazy trying to make him happy. He had his mother drive him all the way south, an hour from Boston, an hour back. He didn't care. He didn't care that our daughter had a bladder infection. It didn't matter to him. To this day, if I was to bring this up, he would talk about how bad the day was for him, how I wasn't there for him, how our daughter had to get a bladder infection that day. Why did this happen to him? Why does all these bad things happen to him? He really needed me that day. This is narcissism. This is what a narcissist version of love is. He would tell you that he loves me, that he loves our daughter, that he's a good family man, but the evidence for that is not there. Now, a narcissist, another thing that they mean when they tell you they love you is they love manipulating you. They love playing games. They enjoy playing games because you are a common person. They are superior to you. So they like being above you. When they lie to get something that they want, it makes them feel good. A hallmark of narcissism is lying to you about everything. You live in the dark. You don't recognize it, especially in the middle of the relationship. You don't know. And when you do know, they will lie to you some more and tell you that they're going to change because they need you to keep giving. It is inconceivable that you would not give to the narcissist. If you don't give to a narcissist, if you are able to understand narcissism and leave the narcissist and they do not have backup supply, they will collapse completely. The secret is they are completely dependent on you. You don't know this, not until later. I've seen this with my own eyes. This has happened to my husband. I gave him all power in the relationship. I thought that he loved me, and I thought what love was, what I should do is give repeatedly. I thought my duty as his wife was to give and to forgive. It didn't even occur to me that when he was lying and manipulating, when I was finding these things out, my husband was, I've talked about this in other videos. He was a secret alcoholic. He was financially abusive. He had caused tremendous problems for me, serious issues, and I always forgave him. For him, though, he enjoyed it. He likes manipulating. He likes playing games. This is what narcissists do. So they'll tell you that they love you, but this is what they mean. They love that no matter how much they abuse you, you won't leave them. You will change your life to please them. You will respect their rules, and the narcissist will never change. They love that if you seem like maybe you're done, all they need to tell you is that they love you. A good description, a good way to, I've thought about this with my husband before. There's a good way, I have a good analogy to talk about the difference between him and I. And this is probably very similar to you and your narcissist. A couple years ago, my children and I saved this mouse. This mouse was in our garage. I don't know what was wrong with it. It was just laying there. It had half its tail missing, so I don't know if it had been in a fight, if somebody tried to eat it. So we took this little mouse and we brought it into the house. And we had it in this cage, and we gave it water and food, and it started perking up. I thought it was going to die, but it actually started perking up. After a day or two, it was really active, and you could just tell it wanted to get out. It was like running crazy. It was trying to get out of the cage. So we released it outside. So we felt good. We helped this little mouse. We released it outside, and that was the end of the mouse. We named this mouse Angel. A couple weeks later, maybe it was a month later, my husband, my kids and I were at church. We're coming home from church, and I had missed a bunch of calls from my husband. So I pull into the driveway. I started pulling into the driveway, and he rushes down the driveway, and he's like, I need to talk to you right now. Right now. Why didn't you answer the phone? I was calling you. So I'm looking at my phone. I had all these missed calls, and he pulls me aside, and he's like, I killed Angel. Well, she's not dead, but she's in the driveway, and she's really hurt, and all her babies are dead. They're all over the driveway. He had a riding mower, and the mouse with her babies was in the mower. And so when he started it up, accidentally, he killed the mice. So there were baby mice all over the driveway, and Angel was just laying there convulsing. So I was able to get the kids into the house without them seeing this. I came back outside, and my husband had picked up the dead baby mice, and I rushed over to Angel, and I was trying to comfort her. She was convulsing on the driveway, just laying there in pain. My husband told me, what are you doing? Get away from her. Don't touch her. She's a wild animal. What are you doing? And it hit me right. It hit me then. And I've thought about this many times since then. He hurt somebody. Now, I know it was an accident, but he hurt somebody. He hurt something. Then he denies it comfort. That's a narcissist. They just give pain. I wanted to help this. When I'm hurt, I want comfort. When this little animal was hurt, I wanted to comfort it. It was just natural. This is how most people are. I don't think I'm special for this. You're probably like this too. Wanted to offer comfort to this poor little creature that was hurt. A narcissist denies everybody comfort. They don't do comfort. It doesn't occur to them. They don't care. The little mouse can die alone and in pain. I can suffer alone and in pain. You can suffer alone and in pain. Video's getting long, so I'm going to just talk now about what love is. Because a lot of people in these relationships with narcissists don't know what love is. That was me. I know what love is. I know I'm able to feel love. I'm able to give love. But because I grew up in a narcissistic home, I didn't have love. I didn't have real love. I had conditional love growing up. So when I was with my husband, that was all that I was used to. But now I know this is what real love is. Real love is a feeling of safety. It's not an illusion. It's a real feeling of safety. It's an acknowledgement of your differences. You're not trying to change somebody. They're not trying to change you. You're different, and you accept it. There's actually, and this is a huge one, real communication. There's a discussing of emotions. A narcissist just abandons emotions and runs off and just refuses to deal with them. They'll give a silent treatment. They don't do emotions. There's encouragement. They want the best for you. It's not just that they want the best for them. They want the best for you. They want you to be satisfied. You trust them. They trust you. There's real trust. They want to be the best person for you. They change and work to please you. And I'm not talking about being a completely different person, being a phony, but they want to live a good life. You want to be with somebody that lifts you up and you lift them up. It's a mutual relationship. They prioritize you. You matter. They handle conflict. They help get your needs met. They respect you. And you see it daily. Now, I'm not saying that, if you're not living in a utopia, that you're not in a real loving relationship. I don't mean that at all. But you can feel this every day. There's a mutuality. You are not doing all the giving and they are doing all the taking. Real love is two people doing the work, two people working together, two people living a life. It's not you sacrificing everything, them constantly upsetting you, them constantly disrespecting you, them constantly hurting you, lying to you, betraying to you, and you constantly forgiving them. That is narcissism. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, whether you're in the relationship and you don't know they're a narcissist, in which case you're probably not watching this video, but still, if you think about it at that time, so you're in a relationship, you don't know it, you're in a relationship, you do know that you're with a narcissist, or you're ending a relationship with a narcissist. Whatever phase of the relationship that you're in, you're going to feel pain. Narcissists inflict pain at every stage of the relationship, every time. So if you are still with the narcissist, that pain is never going to go away. Everyone says this. Really, when I first started reading about narcissism, when I started learning about it, I saw this and I dismissed it. I didn't want to hear it. So I'm saying it to you, and I know there's going to be people that don't want to hear it. But realistically, if you are with a narcissist, you can't stay with them and have any quality of life. There is no relationship because this person can't feel love. They are absolutely incapable of love. It doesn't exist for them. They are only about themselves. So the best thing for you is to get out of the relationship, to plan to get out of the relationship, to have a quality of life, to have a real life. Being with a narcissist means that you are going to always suffer. So think about that. Think about, is this what you want? Don't you deserve better? When I think about my relationship, what I want in a relationship, I want what I have to give. I have love to give. I have a commitment to give. I have all the things when I describe love: safety, acknowledgement of differences, communication, encouragement, trust, prioritizing them. I have all that to give. So why am I settling for crumbs from somebody that doesn't respect me, somebody that just thinks that they could just, I love you and now do things for me? That's narcissism. So I know this video is very long, so I'm going to wrap it up. I hope this helped you realize what love to a narcissist really is. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please like the video. Please share the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you for watching the video. Very grateful. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. God bless you.